Right, I'm back.
Mute. Welcome everybody to ALR Bronze. Unfortunately, we had a bit of technical difficulties there. We found out that the problem is that I can't use Facebook, so I'm not going to use Facebook at all. I'm going to just use the lovely YouTube stream, and yeah, we'll want to crack on with the qualifying in this stage. I've got Infamous Pillars with me, thankfully jumping in to the comments box for this race. So welcome to you, Infamous Pillars.
Thanks, Vic. Happy to be here. Happy to help out. Looking forward to a good bronze race tonight. Hopefully, we'll have some good excitement for the stream.
Yeah, it should be good. Should be good. I know, unfortunately, everyone's probably missing Sean He's got some work commitments, or he's probably counting his starburst or something like you said yesterday. So yeah, we'll unfortunately have to miss him for today. But we'll crack on with the stream anyway tonight. Unfortunately, you're stuck with me and Dan for this one. But yeah, hopefully it'll be a good race. So you don't have to listen to us too much. You can just watch the racing, the entertaining racing, and we'll crack on.
Definitely think he's had too many green ones in that share bag he had earlier. I think he's gone to complain, mate, really, rather than have a work thing on.
Let me find the comment section. Right. Dry race apparently, but I don't know who commented that. Energetics did actually. So it's going to be a dry race, which is very nice for us. Don't have to worry about all the interesting conditions that wet weather track would throw up around here, because it's quite difficult in the wet, I imagine.
It can be, yeah. I mean, it's hard enough keeping out the barriers in the dry, let alone in the wet. Obviously, the Gold Boys had it in on Sunday evening. Luckily, we didn't have it in silver last night. So, but through prior experience, yeah, it's on par with Monaco with the wet difficulty. But it's easy enough to get around if you're smart about it. But luckily for these guys tonight, it's going to be a dry race. So hopefully, see a lot more overtakes.
Yeah, it's a cracking circuit, especially for overtaking as well. So I think it'll throw up some interesting manoeuvres. Let's put it that way. I think I've seen some interesting ones over in gold and in silver as well, of course, all over the place really, especially in sector 3. But I'll just quickly go through the standings as Sean would do, of course. Very nicely. I'm sure I'll do it much worse, but we'll find out in a minute. So in P1, of course, leading the championship as it stands is Velocity in the Williams, who has just gone first, of course, setting the first time of the session in the Williams car, followed by Farf only by 8 points now. So the gap has actually increased slightly as Energetics goes fastest there. But Farf in P2 for the Renault team. He's got a quali ban today for I can't remember what he did actually. Whether it was no footage. Oh, it was taking people out by accident. Hopefully, I think it was. Energetics in P3 in the Alfa Romeo. Of course, Energetics there on pole. Well, on the top step at the moment as it stands in Q1. Got a few more minutes to go in quali for it to be decided that way. As we've just had Ayrton jump up to a to P8 now. I think it was over 49 from Ayrton. Somebody else has gone right up there. I think it was Mike, which is good. Who's Mike in P4 in the quali session and in P4 in the standings as it stands for the McLaren. Gort in the Haas is in P5. Ayrton in P6 in the Mercedes. Curly Red in the Racing Point. He's down a place, but he's still in P7. Newman Dino, who's a new joiner, well, relatively new joiner to the Bronze League, but has been doing a good job. And he's in P8. Nunda in P9 for the Williams team as well. So Williams doing really well in the constructors. Rembo in the Haas in P10, down 2 places from Monaco. And then everyone else seems to be sort of staying the same really from 11th down to 20th. So it's Camaro Racer, Jay Bradfield, Forza Ferrari, Fran, Guna, Dead Rabbit, Brandon, RDW, Maslers and Stereogram. In the constructors, of course, Williams lead the way thanks to Velocity. And Nunda helping out as well with some points here and there. McLaren in second, was doing a good job for Team McLaren. They're only 18 points off the leaders, so they've still got some catching up to do. But it's potential with Newman and Mike that they could do that. Alfa Romeo in third, Renault in fourth, Haas non-movers in P5, Ferrari in P6, going up a place, overtaking AlphaTauri in P7, Mercedes in eighth, and then Racing Point and Red Bull bringing up the rear as it stands.
Interesting with the at the top of the table in bronze at the moment. Obviously the Energetics last week putting on an absolute masterclass. But Velocity, we know what he's got. It'll be interesting to see what happens obviously in the latter stages of qualifying. And see what people are really running down the straights, which is a long straight here, but you don't want to compromise your top speed going into the castle section and also slower corners through 3, 4, 5 and 6. So be interesting to see what people have tonight. Obviously Farf probably will be the one to look out for, starting at the back after doing what Farf does best in Monaco. It should be a good race tonight. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, Gurman just jumping into the comments saying this track is horrible. So nice comment there from Gurman. Obviously a fellow Silver driver for you, and probably one of your competition. But yeah, he doesn't like Baku. How do you think? How do you feel about Baku racing around here? Racing around here yesterday anyway.
Hated it until last night.
Oh right, okay.
hated it until about lap 26 when it was over. It is one of those tracks where it's make or break really. Obviously, my qualifying position helped, and then obviously hopping Irish off the start. But it can go wrong very quickly. Obviously, the castle section very tight. Anybody tries an audacious move there, it can just be an absolute pile up. You know, the braking zones around here are a bit different, to say the least. In trying to get the traction down, traction's hard around here. So it's one of those where I think most people are happy to look at the back of it after the race. My aim last night was to grab points and move on. So happy to get the 25, but yeah, definitely agree with Gurman there. It's horrible.
Oh, so I was going to say it's one of my favourite tracks. That's going to offend a lot of people. That sorry.
you love a street track though, Nosey. We know about your pace around Monaco, and it's one of those where obviously you've seen the Hasses the last 2 weeks. They are coming at me like a shark with knees at the moment at the top of qualifying. Obviously Mark Mallow last week put on pretty much what Energetics did. He put on the masterclass. And even yesterday, even when he was behind me, I knew full well that I couldn't step off the pace. He is quick. He obviously does like a street track. But yeah, it's a hard couple of weeks really now in the calendar when you have Monaco and Azerbaijan back to back. Obviously, it used to be a little gap between, but now it's a brutal couple of weeks. So it's nice to have 2 hard weeks and then into a track that everybody pretty knows pretty well, which is Canada. So.
Yeah, I mean it's like you said with that. Oh, sorry, we've got Guna here. I'll see where he is actually. He's in the middle sector before the castle section. I think he's just getting out of the way, thankfully for everybody else. We'll go back onto the Gort, who's on an out lap now. He's actually, I'll go to somebody else actually if they're on an out lap or on a fast lap. I think it's Brandon here. We're on board with Brandon in the Ferrari, and Brandon a new recruit. So he's doing a good job, and he's putting a lot of practice around Baku, I believe, from what I've heard. So yeah, good luck to him. Hopefully he does a good lap. But yeah, I don't know. It's just about something about street circuits that I think it's quite interesting. As we got Newman, I think he's just retired in the pit, so that's fine. Yeah, so yeah, something about street circuits. It's more thrilling to race around, and it's a bit more fun. And obviously there's the danger of losing your wing a bit if you go into the wall, which is probably my favourite part of this section is the castle section as well. Because of that as well, it adds to the spectacle, doesn't it?
Definitely. Obviously, Azerbaijan needs a corner like the castle section, or it would just be a boring track. I think, for me personally, obviously you got 3 long straights pretty much. You've got 2 with DRS, and you've got 1 after the castle section, which runs down to the end of sector 2, start of sector 3. It needs a corner like the castle section where anybody can get caught out no matter how good you are, and it does add something to the track. I do like the castle section myself. I thought it was the best corner on the track for me here. It definitely adds to the spectacle of the track, really.
Yeah, I think overall when this track came to the calendar, I think it was back in 2014, something like that. Maybe it's a bit further than that. Yeah, it was earlier than that, later than that. Then sorry, but yeah, it came to us as the European Grand Prix, which is a bit odd because it was out in the middle of nowhere in terms of Europe anyway, because it's right on the edge. But yeah, it was an interesting one because it's literally is right in the middle of the capital city of Baku, which is right by the sea as well. I was lucky enough to go there in the same year that Vettel had his interesting collision with Lewis Hamilton. So yeah, I was watching it live, and yeah, I was very disappointed that Vettel did that. It really put me off being a Vettel fan, and yeah. But yeah, anyway, so we'll carry on before I offend more people who are Vettel fans. But yeah, so this track, since it came to the calendar, it's been one of those ones that I think has always put up a thrilling race, whether it be, well, mainly because it's put up all the safety cars, all of the yellow flags and all of the changes in strategy due to that. It's just it makes it more entertaining and more unpredictable, isn't it?
Definitely. Obviously with it being interchangeable with the weather, it adds something to it as well. Obviously you can have absolutely torrential rain here, and then 5 minutes later it can be glorious sunshine. And obviously you saw with the quali in gold how it went from inters in Q1 to Q2, and then even with a few drops of rain still coming down in Q3, they were on those soft tyres as well. So it definitely has something to it. As much as I hate the track, it has something to it. It can always throw a spanner in the works for absolutely anybody that's out there. So you always have to have your wits about you, really. So definitely one of those tracks that it's nice to have on the calendar, but it's horrible to race on. Obviously, you mentioned it about the Vettel and Hamilton incident where Vettel had his moment of madness.
Yeah,
luckily
that
didn't come to me. Luckily, it didn't come to me and Murphy behind the safety car last night. Obviously, Mercedes and Ferrari, it could have happened, but it didn't, luckily. But no, it's definitely had a few moments. Obviously, Stroll coming marginally close to getting P2, apart from Bottas just hanging that slipstream. That's the thing to look out for tonight. Is if you're about even if about a second and a half, 2 seconds, you will still find a slipstream down the main straight, so you will still get a better top speed than the car in front. So that's what the car in front. Let's just put it out there. Say energetic is in front of Maz. Maz is 2 seconds behind. He'll end up catching a little bit, with the overtake button as well, which everybody has to use. But it depends how well you can save it and you use it wisely. It is hard to save round here. With all the slow speed corners, you would have thought it would be able to regenerate pretty quickly, but it deteriorates worse than what you would think. But definitely the main straight to look out for tonight, I think, for one for me. And if anybody's feeling brave, it will be down to the back end of Sector 2 for the overtakes tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's, the straights obviously give us a great opportunity for overtaking. There's quite a few DRS zones. Well, there's 2 DRS zones around this track. Of course, down the main, the back straight, which sort of turns into the main straight, doesn't it? Down the very long backhander where we've got stereogram. Sorry, I'm running on board here. Where we've got stereogram, obviously coming down into the pits now. It looks like he's run out of fuel there, but he's just about making it back. So good for him. So we've got DRS zone, straight down to turn 1. From there, and also on the next straight where we've got Gunnar, who is now going down after turn 2 all the way down to turn 3. So it promotes overtaking this track because of the straights. The only problem is it also promotes incidents because of the sharpness of the turns, I think, as well.
Yeah, well, we found that out in Silver last night. Obviously, Murphy getting spun into turn 2. Everybody wants that exit, that launch out of turn 2. Obviously, Murphy got caught up on lap 1, but turn 3. Obviously, everybody will want to go down the inside or around the outside, but that wall that sticks out on the entry looks a little bit further tucked in than where it is when you actually enter the corner. So when you end up turning in, you catch that back wheel, and it's then a game of total wipeout. Everybody gets caught up. It's carnage, but you've got to go for it when you see them around here, because you don't want to be stuck in behind someone in the dirty air around Sector 2. The car does like to have a little bit of slip. It's the exit out of the castle section. You find the car slides a lot, even without the dirty air. And with the dirty air, it's horrible. I had it last night and constantly fighting the car through it, and you're just hoping that you get to them in the DRS range for this main straight where Gunnar is right now.
I think that's just something to add on when you said dirty air. I think this game is a lot more difficult to follow people, even with the overtake, or the addition of the overtake button, the DRS and the fuel mix, of course, that you can all add up to help promote your overtaking. Of course, down the DRS straight it's quite easy to overtake, even if somebody else is trying to use the actual overtake button to defend, purely because of the length of the straight and the power that you've got in addition to that. But in other tracks that we'll come up against, and we've already raced that already, then it's just a lot different to, and it's a lot more difficult to actually get within that overtake window, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah. I found that it's definitely the hotter of the tracks where it's a lot more significant. But even when you're at the cooler tracks, it does play a big part. You know, I think we saw at Spain where the people were losing the back end through sector 3, through with the fast right-hander at the back end of sector 2. But it's nice that they made it more realistic to the game. Obviously, last year you could follow someone, you could have their hand in the gearbox in the cockpit, you know, have a little play with the steering wheel. Where this you just can't do that. It's just impossible to run your rear wing and pretty merge the cars together. Pretty much merge the cars together. So it definitely makes it a lot more interesting, which is nice. So be interesting to see if anybody does try and hang about the back end of someone tonight. But personally, it's not worth it. You're better off hanging back a couple of tenths and then going after it.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere or I saw somewhere on a YouTube video that you have to be about a second fast. Well, I think it might have been actually in the actual Italian Grand Prix. You have to be about a second faster than the car that you're trying to overtake to actually make sure that overtakes, that you can actually get away from them after the overtake as well. Because of course, eventually it will just lead to DRS training and slipstreaming all over the place, won't it? So as we saw a bit in Monza in the real life GP in 2 days ago now. But yeah, it's been an interesting sort of addition to this game. Just the use of the dirt, well, not the use of the dirty air, but the impact of the dirty air really on following cars. I know it used, like you said, it was quite easy to follow people in the last game, save a lot of ERS, and then when you needed to overtake them, just breeze past. But in this game, you have to think about it a bit more, don't you?
Definitely, and I think that's where you're seeing quite a few more incidents than what we would normally. People are still adjusting, obviously, to the game and how the handling models have changed, how the cars react in that dirty air, and I think everybody's still trying to find their feet a little bit. Obviously, it's going to get better as time goes on, but obviously early stages of the game still a few bugs in there, so it's interesting to see how people adapt to it as well.
Yeah, just going to look at the comments here. We've got Guna for an outside bet. Guna win, sorry, for the outside bet. So that's from Darren from Serious Mushroom. So yeah, that's a good shout. I think Guna in P14 at the moment. Maybe he's sandbagging just to make sure that we don't all get too excited right now. But yeah, thanks for that from Darren. Evening Shah says Nunda. He's probably realised that it's not Sean's commentating, unfortunately for your ears. Maybe not unfortunately for your ears, depends on how you feel. But yeah, unfortunately Sean is not here today. He's got some work commitments, so it's me and Pillars who are filling in for him. So yeah, only for tonight, thank God, so don't worry about it. Where is Sean? Alex? Yeah, I've answered that one. And anything else that's going on in there? Gerdman is referring to somebody as RDW. But yeah, RDW has done a great job actually in this qualifying session. He's up to P5 as it stands for the Renault. So one of the Renaults unfortunately got a qualifying ban, which is Farf, and then the other one is doing a good job in going on up into Q2 as it stands now. Hopefully the comms will get a bit better for you, F1 League. I don't know who you actually are, but F1 League should get a bit better. I've just been playing around for the whole of Q1, trying to get the Facebook stream to work. I have figured out how to do it now, hopefully, so I will get that going in Q2, or the beginning of Q2. So yeah, we'll have 2 streams going eventually. But yeah, the reason I was so useless at following the right car in that one is because I was trying to get something sorted on my laptop. But now we're ready to go. F1 League is RDW. Well, he's referring to you as the right name then, isn't he? So that's all good. But yeah, Q1, the only drivers we have lost. And it is Ben Greener, who is reserving for the Red Bull tonight. He set no time, unfortunately. Farf, who of course is in the Renault but has got a qualifying ban, so he didn't set a time either. As well, the same for Fran, in the Mercedes. Stereogram, unfortunately, is out from Alfa Romeo with the 144.3, and the final person not to make it into Q2 is Brandon in the Ferrari, a 140.7. So everybody else is through to Q2 now, and they'll be able to. Well, they have to choose their strategy really from here. Start on which tire. Well, they'll have to start on whatever tires they went fastest at in Q2 if they make it into the top 10. So we'll wait and see, and we'll be losing 5 more drivers. It says everyone's on an outlap there, but did that happen for you? You just said everyone's on an outlap, but I think the game realised that it was wrong there. But yeah, we'll just crack on. Mate. Yeah, maybe it's just me. Don't worry about it. So yeah, we're just waiting for that to get going. Hopefully the Facebook stream will pop up in a minute, and yeah, otherwise we'll wait and see who's going to go out on the track first. But it seems like everyone's taking their time. I'll just put on the details and the compounded tyres that everyone's out on. It looks like there's a Williams coming out first, and which Williams is it going to be? Fran says, I love the comms. He says my name correct. Well, you're not the only one. Yeah, don't worry about that.
Sean's chewing on a starburst, so that's probably why I can't say your name right.
That's brilliant. Yeah, yeah, Fran. Well, I know your name from the very beginning because, well, when we all started everything, we was on Facebook as well. We didn't have the Discord, everything, so we had everyone's Facebook names all added into the groups and things like that. So yeah, yeah. I have reminded Sean of your name in real life, and he just doesn't pronounce it right. Even though I've tried to make sure he pronounces it right in the future, but no luck on that one, unfortunately. But we want to looking at Velocity here, who's the lead car out of the pits in Q2 on the medium compound tyre.
Yeah, definitely one sort of strategy works around here a lot easier. Obviously you save the extra pit stop, but obviously I've sandbagged. The best thing to do, what I find, is you sandbag the life out of a set of softs, ones that you used in Q1, and then you set your fast run on the medium tyre right at the end. Obviously when the track has acclimatised a bit more, track's faster time, should get through. On those mediums, Velocity spun it.
He's had a bit of a spin there, yeah. So I've just told that unfortunately we can't hear you on Facebook. It's only me that you can hear on Facebook, but we can hear you on YouTube. So yeah, Pillars is still here. Is here for the YouTube stream only. Unfortunately, the Facebook stream you're not allowed to hear him. So every time he talks, it's going to be a bit quiet. But yeah, we should be all right. Yeah, a bit of a spin there for Velocity. Back into the pits he goes, and I can't remember who's the next lead car really to come back round. As Maz is coming through on the medium compound tyres. I can't remember, is it Mike? It might be Mike, or Dead Rabbit. Sorry, I was on Dead Rabbit, that's the one. I forget it right, there we go. He's on the soft compound tyres, is Dead Rabbit, so he's going to be making an earlier pit stop in the race, should he get into Q3, on these tyres, but we'll wait and see how he does. Into sector 2 he goes. He's obviously purple in the first sector, being the first car to set a real lap time in anger, and we'll wait and see how he does through the castle section.
Yeah, softs tend to last 6-7 laps at optimal performance. Then they drop off the cliff so quickly. Obviously Murphy made him work from last night, but definitely I'd only really taken 7 laps. When a medium you can go about 12-13 on the first stint, and the hards you can push them as hard as you like, and they won't wear away for the end of the Grand Prix. So, I mean, people have tried a soft, hard round here, but again, you might find that times slip off towards the back end. Just where people have about 4 or 5 lap pressure hards, it does come into play right at the end. So I think the medium is the optimal strategy around here tonight.
Yeah, I think it's well, the strategy in terms of Baku is usually mediums to hards or hards to mediums. If the game allows you to choose the hard compound tyres, as Dead Rabbit goes fastest at the moment. Yeah, it's just a question of whether the as Mike's back in the pits, I just saw he retired from that lap as Maz goes up into P2 on the medium compound tyres. Yeah, what we were saying about the tyre life, I think obviously the soft tyres get worn out really quickly around here. I think it's about 6 laps or so is the optimum. So obviously when you're doing 6 laps and out of a 26 lap race on the soft compound tyres, it's most likely that you're going to have to either do a 2-stop or potentially eke out, if you can eke out, 20 laps on the on the hard combat tires, so it's much more difficult choosing your strategy if you're going to limit yourself with the softs at the very beginning. But we'll see what Dead Rabbit does. I mean, it looks like he might be safe actually, because everyone seems to be going on the medium compound tires. Other than that,
yeah, definitely. But I think there might be a bit more time in that for Dead Rabbit. I think might have saved a little bit of time, just maybe getting a delta, but doesn't want it to show that he's sandbagging a little bit. Where I think sandbagging is the easier option, because you know you're going to be up on your delta no matter what, so whatever time you set is going to be quicker than the soft one anyway. But I mean, anybody else starting outside the top 10 should definitely look at either the mediums or the hards. Anybody who touches the softs has played them right out of contention for sneaking a few points if they're right down at the back end of the grid, as Rembo goes third with a 40.9 on those medium tires.
Yeah, good time there from Rembo. She was a bit unlucky in the Netherlands Grand Prix to lag out on the final lap and lose a podium. But yeah, she's really picked up and carried on those performances to get up the standings. I think P6, I believe, P7. So she was, I believe. I can't remember off the top of my head. But as Maz goes fastest there, I think he's already set another lap time there. Sorry, on the medium compound tire. So he's using up those mediums as it stands. But he's gone fastest. Oh no, he's not. His Energetics has gone fastest on his first lap, the 140.2. Again on the medium combat tires, so only Dead Rabbit out there, and in fact only Dead Rabbit out there on the softs at all as it stands. We've got everybody else on the medium combat tires, whether they've come out or not just yet, but on board with Velocity as he's coming through the very tight, well, it's not a very tight section, but it's a very tight section when you're going at such high speed, and cutting the corner there with the Esports line into the final couple of turns. I don't really count the sort of the kink bit in coming up as a turn really, but I suppose it is in a way. But yeah, really good racing from a really good performance. Sorry, from Rembo. As from all these guys, they've all done a really good job, I think, in bronze in terms of actually getting up to speed with the game and having some good battles whilst keeping it clean throughout the season so far. Obviously, we're only on round 8 as Velocity goes up to P4. They've all done a really good job.
Definitely. Times at the moment are obviously looking pretty good at the moment. Dead Rabbit, I think there must be a little bit left in there on those for a set of medium tyres. I think Ayrton's always one to look out for. Might be able to sneak a few points, maybe even a podium today. Kind of goes under the radar quite a lot. Obviously, we know what his brother Emerson can do in gold. Obviously, getting the W Sunday night. Maybe we should. Well, hopefully, Brotherly Love giving him some tips for tonight.
I think they do work together on strategy. Of course, Emerson racing in gold, so he does race in gold, and then gives Ayrton a bit of an idea of of what sort of strategy to do, how to race around the circuit, and maybe a bit of a setup talk and things like that as well. But it's yeah, I mean it's good to have both of them on board. Hopefully, maybe we'll see both of them in the same league one day as well. That'll be interesting to watch. I don't know who's going to get preference over who streams what, and who gets to have which controller and things like that. But we'll find out hopefully in a couple of seasons. But yeah, all the guys. I mean, both. Well, back to Ayrton as well. He's, much massively improved on his performances from the 2019 game, that is, from last season. And yeah, he's like you said, scoring some good points. Is the Mercedes driver this season, up into P5 in the standings. Of course, he's had a couple of bad races where, or like Monaco, where he didn't get as many points as he was expecting. But yeah, he can crack on in this race, and I'm sure he can get some more points throughout the season. Of course, like I said, only about a third of the way through, aren't we? So yeah, it's got a lot of work to do and a lot of points available as Mike goes into P5, sorry, with a 140.888. Which is pretty good from Mike. Should keep him safe, or should potentially keep him safe for getting into Q3. What would you say the cut-off point would be around here? It's probably about 105, do you reckon? 40.05?
I think it will be something about that. I maybe even a 40.6, maybe if you're stretching it. I think, obviously. Still 5 people left to set times. As we consider as the last person does set their time, I think we can get a better gauge on what we can now. The interesting thing is, though, Nolsey, is that if you look at the top 3, obviously Maz and Energetics have both set times on medium for it, changed to the softs in the pits. And so is Velocity. So maybe trying to tempt a few people into going out on those soft tyres, but I think they'll be safe with those times right now, personally. It
Yeah,
depends how much the track acclimatises really bit, in all
yeah.
honesty.
I think, well, like I said, it is. I would say putting the mediums on is probably the safer race strategy, because obviously that will give you it will give you a better sort of leeway in terms of what you want to do later on in the race. Whether you want to go into the hards or whether you want to try and extend the stint, maybe make it a two-stop even if you want to. But maybe starting on those softs obviously gives you a better traction off the line. Gain you a few places straight away from the start, and potentially kickstart a high point scoring race. So maybe that's what they're looking for, or maybe they're just putting it on just in case they need to go out there as Forza comes back into the pit. On a flying lap. I'm not sure what was going wrong with him or for him there, but that's a bit odd there. As Forza was about to set a lap time on the mediums, maybe he's thought better of it and will go on the softs as well. But we'll find out in a minute.
There's going to be some serious pressure on him to get that lap done, and as well as RDW as well, and Gort obviously on a lap now. 4 minutes left of the session. This is where your palms might be sweating if you're outside the top 10, or even if you're in P9 or P10, you'll be looking over your shoulder, thinking whether to go out again or not. So, personally, I think it's better to start outside the top 10 and stay away from the softs until, if there's a safety car, lap 20, lap 21, and obviously you strap them on then. But for me, I'd rather miss out on Q3 knowing that I'll be on the harder tyre for the longevity of the race and make myself up those point playing positions, rather than having a box and lose 20 odd seconds. Is definitely worth it.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think that's right. And I know there's a few people that will probably like to play a bit of havoc, especially with a commentator, and choose different strategies to make it difficult for us. But I think as we've got the Gort coming through now into the final couple of corners, and looks like he's going purple. So I'm not quite sure. I know you tried to explain it to me before in another league race, but I'm not quite sure whether it means purple to the person in front of you in terms of who set a time, like Bradfield here in P11, or whether it means purple overall. But we'll find out in a minute when it does cross the line. We'll see where he goes. But as he opens the DRS flap, down to the finish line he goes, and he is going to finish. Well, he's going to qualify in P2. So I think it might be purple overall actually, in terms of the comparisons. But the Gort up into P2 on the medium compound tyres as well. That's a great time from the Gort. And it should be safe from anybody overtaking him, getting him into Q3 in the next session. But we're waiting for everyone else everyone's out on their out laps now as it stands. RDW and Guna haven't been out before, or haven't been out on track, in this session, I should say, not been out before. But they're both on the medium compound tyres, so they are at risk potentially of not making it through, I don't think.
Yeah. The interesting one's Forza Ferrari coming in on those soft tyres. He's definitely got the pace to get through on the medium. So, and if he doesn't want to do 2 laps on them, but doing 2 laps on the mediums is better than doing any laps on the softs, to me personally, in Q2. RDW and Goon are definitely under pressure as well. This will be their only lap as well. So they need to make it count here.
Definitely.
And make sure that they minimise wheel spin out of corners. They're smooth on the power. That's a good turn 2 from Guna, early on the power as well. DRS open down to turn 3 now, and this is the key braking zone. This can make or break your sector 1 as well. Especially now on your last lap, you don't want to be feeling like you're under that much pressure. The world's on your shoulders. You don't need that. A little bit hesitant on the turning, a little bit squirrely with that back end. I'm going to use one of your lines now, going through the twisty section. We're out again, but it's looking smooth from Guna at the moment. Let's hopefully for the rest of the lap, Nolsey, he can finish it off well, mate.
Yeah, I'm just looking on board. I think I'm with Velocity at the moment as it stands. He's going purple as well. Of course, putting on those soft compound tyres. Quite a few people are out there now on the softs, so we'll change up the strategy more dramatically rather than qualifying on the mediums if you are starting on the mediums, of course. But as we've got a slow Williams into the pits there. Oh, sorry, he's just got into the pits now, so he's all right. But yeah, coming up to line is Velocity on the soft compound tyres. What's he going to do? He's going to do a 1:39.7, which is the fastest lap time we've seen by far so far. So really good time there from Velocity, and like you said, track acclimatisation coming in hot for that lap as well.
Ardy Wee is out of qualifying. He has stopped. He's slowed down. He's got damage to the wing. So Ardy Wee that's one less person out. And Guna can only go P13. So that's his qualifying over as well.
Yep. So like I said, putting the mediums on is going to make it more difficult for you, especially when all these guys going out on softs at the very end of the session as well. But let me find who's the lead car. I've got Forza Ferrari here on board with him. He hasn't had time either, but of course he's gone straight out on softs. Hasn't used the mediums in this session either, so he will have a fresh set actually for the race. Should he need to, you need to use an extra set of mediums, but hopefully he doesn't, because that probably means that there's been a few safety cars popping around. But yeah, so he's doing a good job. Hopefully he'll get into Q3 here. Looks like he's going to be doing a good time because he's gone purple in sector 2. Joyce has just signed up. Emerson has gone with a sloth emoji or some sort of animal emoji. And Droft, as I said, Darren, I agree with you. I agree if you can pass. Can be awkward if you get stuck behind. I'm not sure what they're talking about there. As Forza has gone fastest, sorry. Great time there from Forza. But I'm sure they'll be able to clear that up, as I probably missed a comment or two. But Energetics coming up to the line now. Let's see what he can do. And he's a bit further from London, I thought, but he's gone fastest there with a 38.4, which is a smashing time there from Forza, from Energetics. Sorry, really good time there from the Alfa Romeo driver.
Yeah, I'm a bit stunned here, in all honesty, Nosy. The amount of people on soft tyres. Obviously, bronze get the advantage of seeing what gold and silver do, and seeing the medium hard work, but going a different way to it.
Yeah,
so
it's quite interesting.
Anybody from outside that top 10 is in a dangerous position. The Gort is in pole position for the race win. For me personally, obviously things can change, safety cars can happen, but in the grand scheme of things, I think Gort is looking good, really good at the moment. I don't really know what to say, mate. I'm a bit stunned.
Yeah, I think as Becca's just commented in the YouTube stream, Pillars, your strategy better work, sorry, I should say. So I think she is following your strategy from yesterday.
It worked last night.
Well, she's out in P11, which is obviously out of Q3. Is waiting for the guys in the pits just to retire. Out in Q3 is Rempo, but of course, starting P11, she gets free choice of tyres, and will be able to obviously start on a fresh set as well.
Yeah, so obviously outside the top 10, you could start at the hards, and then go to the mediums. Obviously, have the quicker tyre for the back end of the Grand Prix. Do what? 14 and 12, or if you wanted to stretch it, you could do 16 and 10. Actually, hang on, there are a few people in the top 10. My Delta was lying to me. So, because I had everybody on softs apart from Gort. So Maz, Newman, Mike and Ayrton all on those medium tyres, but obviously losing Rempo, Nunda, Bradfield, Guna and Ardy Wee. Yeah. But I still think the guys with the softs might have made a mistake there, Nosy.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, like you said earlier in at the beginning of the session, it was the softs don't last very long, do they? So it's going to be difficult to sort of factor them into the race strategy. If you can make them go long and then fit, of course, the hard compound tyre, you can do a one stop with the softs 2 hards. But it's just a bit difficult, I think. It's better going on to the mediums and extending that stint at the very beginning and then going on to the hards for the end. But yeah, we'll wait and see what happens in the race. Of course, we've got Q3 coming up here, 12 minutes where these guys will decide who is going to be lining up in pole position, and pole position all the way down to 10th. Really, it explains itself on the column on the left rather. But we're waiting for these guys to all get out. We've got Velocity out first again, so same in Q1. Same in Q2, sorry, is the Williams driver leading the pack out into the field on into Q3, and away we go.
And hopefully he doesn't spin it like he did last time in Q2.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, I'm not letting him drop that one ever. But it's going to be interesting. Obviously, Energetics pretty much putting the hammer down again, second week in a row. Obviously, we know his pace, and don't know why he's languishing down in bronze. Definitely left his bus at work, hasn't brought it with him home with the times he's setting at the moment. So I don't personally think you can look past Energetics and pole, but obviously Velocity, Forza Ferrari, all looking quick. Obviously, Gort as well. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight at the top. I'm not going to put any names on P1, but yeah.
Oh, I want to put a name on P1 now. Now that you've said that, I want to put a name on P1.
Your funeral, mate.
I'm going to go for Energetics P1, the Gort P2.
Watch for the two retirements, and Nolte puts the curse on.
Oh dear. I'm sorry guys in advance, but hopefully you don't hear me and you can still do it. So we'll wait and see if how it goes. We'll wait and see how they do in a minute. But Velocity's going to be the one to, as he hasn't spun in this session so far, is the one who's going to be leading us away. I believe Energetics is the second. Yeah, he is. So we'll go over to him when Velocity spins. But yeah, we'll wait to see how the Williams driver, of course, leading the championship is Velocity, so he can't be too slow. We're doing a good job in terms of getting the points, and Energetics on pole is 100% according to Becker. As Velocity's actually gone into the wall there. Oh, got wing damage there, and we've got to get out of the way of Energetics now coming through, and the other drivers, of course. But he's got out of the way of Energetics. Hopefully, he can do the same for the other drivers too. But yeah, that'll be into the pits for a new wing.
The good thing about Q3 is you've made it to the top 10, so you can throw caution to the wind. But having that with 9 minutes left isn't the most ideal thing in the world. But he's got time if he wants to do 2 more runs. He still has that time. So it's a good thing to happen now and not with 5 minutes left.
Exactly. Yeah.
But,
just Ninda has said we need to jinx Energetics enough for him to be in danger. Which isn't very nice from the Williams driver, but maybe he's got his own team goals to help. Well, to try and help his teammate, of course, the Velocity, getting that pole position and getting the win as well. So he's playing the supporting role for Williams in the comments as well. So good job from Linda. Although he has just said Energetics for pole, so maybe he's on both sides at the same time. But Energetics here coming up to the line, activating the DRS right now as we go, and up to the line he's going to come. And what's he going to do? He's got beat at 38.4, I think it was, from his previous time. He's done a 38.4 this time as well, so he's on pole position as it stands. Who's coming up to the line next? It is the AlphaTauri. No, it's not. It is the Gort, if I can find him, and he's gone P2. Sorry, I've missed him completely. He's gone P2, and the McLaren's coming through now. Newman's gone up to P2 with a 39.5, so only a tenth off, or just under a tenth off of Energetics. So that's a really good time from Newman. Might go into P4 for the other McLaren. So McLaren doing pretty well in Q3 as it stands.
Yeah, I thought Mike would have as Ayrton actually sneaks past Mike into P4. I thought Mike would be a little bit quicker than that. Obviously following his teammate in the toe down the back straight, thought he might get a little bit more top speed. Time might be a little bit better, but must have made a mistake somewhere in that lap. Never know, might find Mike giving Newman the toe. As Maz is currently closest, but only half
That's a great time there from Maz. Yeah, well, he's he's not scored any points yet, has Maz, but he's looking like he's going to score some points in this race. Judging by that qualifying, is a really good job from Maz getting up there for Racing Point, and Curly Red joining him in P6 for Racing Point. We're just looking at Dead Rabbit as Velocity's staying in the pits. Oh, he's coming out now. Sorry, or is he? Yes, he is. Sorry, he's coming out the pits now, so he will be able to get on his outlap now. As I'm about to sneeze. Sorry. Sorry about that. So he will be coming out the pits now. I don't know if he's going to have enough time to get round, set a lap time, and then come back in and then go for it again. Do you reckon?
I think he might only get 1 lap at this, personally. If it's about a minute 40 out, So that's, what, 3 minutes? No. He'll get one run at this. This is going to be his only run. He didn't get out quick enough. He needs to get in and out straight away.
Yeah, so
But
it's
he's
going to be
hung on and
difficult
hung
for
on,
him.
so he needs to nail this lap, or he could be starting further down than probably where he should be. So
Well, just watching him on his outlap. Everybody else has set their time, so they will be on their in laps now, coming back into the pits to put on a new set of boots and wait for the timer to tick down a bit more and then go again. Usually only 2 runs in Q3 for the top 10 guys, purely because it's they haven't got enough time to do any more, really, especially around a track like Baku, where it's quite a long lap time, isn't it?
it is, yeah. It's effectively like it's pretty much Singapore, but more open with the lap times. Again, another track I don't like, funnily enough. Lap times are very similar from Singapore to here, so it's about being on track at the right time as well around here. Obviously, there's a few blind corners where you can't quite see around. So, yeah, it's definitely pressure on velocity right now, more than anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's put that pressure on himself really with that incident in his first timed lap in this session where he came around this corner here and broke his wing. He's done a great job of keeping out the wall this time and can carry on with this hot lap. So yeah, good job from him. Dan Pilbeam has commented something about sheep, but yeah, we won't read that. Droftus has said no comment, Darren. Darren has been talking about switching somebody's electric off. So Droftus clearly doesn't want that to happen.
I think that's more of a Williams crossing the line.
Oh right, okay. Well, we'll see what happens in a minute when that does happen. If it does happen, well, hopefully not. But yeah, velocity on his flying lap now, as we can see. I don't know if Ayrton's done another lap on those softs and is still going. So he's up into P3 as Ayrton. But I don't know whether that's good for his race strategy, because everyone's going to come out on fresh softs. I'm not sure he's going to be able to come back and get in time. Velocity going purple in Sector 2, so that's showing that he's got the pace around this circuit, even if he says he doesn't himself. But yeah, good job from Velocity coming around the fast left, right, and into the DRS detection zone, which is now going to be activating here. And away he goes down to the finish line. All right on board with him as he comes down and crosses the line up into P3.
I mean, that lap from Energetics just shows how quick the guy is around here. He's half a second quicker than Maz. He's 9/10 in front of Velocity. And, well, put it back to it, he's 1.9 in front of Forza and P10. So no wonder he's really, looking like the danger man for Velocity's top spot in the Drivers' Championship in bronze.
Yeah, I think he's had a bit of a difficult start to the season. Didn't get off to a good point scoring start in the first couple of races, but he's really turned that back around now, especially in Spain, and it looks like it's going to be here as well. Monaco wasn't his best race, but it's still one that he got points in as well, I think. So yeah, we're watching the Gort for Team Haas coming round, yeah, we're just looking at the Gort coming into turn 2. Very dangerous, these 2 turns, especially turn 2, because if you clip the inside curve, which is quite a high raised curve, it sort of spits you out a bit, and there's a few curbs around Baku that do that. Yeah, it sort of spits you out a bit and then pushes you wide into the wall. And a wall isn't where you want to be with an F1 car, really, is it?
No, not at all. It's the... Sorry, Droftas has definitely distracted me. No, cars are brittle. So yeah. It's one of those where you really need to keep out the wall, keep in a straight line, and keep going as best you can. It's difficult around here. The walls come at you ridiculously quickly. So yeah, it's definitely one to look out for around here tonight. The bits of carbon fibre flying about the track around here.
What do you think of that? I think it's turn 14 or turn 13. I think it is the left-hander down the hill. It's a bit of a difficult one to take. I know there's there's a few esports lines that have come up there, which everyone's welcome to use if they want to. Of course, it's if the game doesn't invalidate you and it doesn't hurt your lap time, then you might as well use it. Is how I feel about it anyway. As we're watching the Gort come up to the line, but yeah, how do you feel about that difficult turn as the Gort goes P2?
I don't bother touching that inside curb. Because it has the it pretty much can throw you off. It can throw you off into that wall. So you're better off taking a wider line, not touching it at all, and just staying away from it. Obviously, the esports guys, we all know what they do. Obviously, they can keep the car under control, but when they're spending 12, 13 hours on the game a day, they know exactly what line to take, and they can hit it 9 times out of 10. Where if someone, just your normal league racer, if they tried that, they would bin it and be out. So for me, I didn't bother going anywhere near it last night. I might have a little kiss every now and then, but nothing like smacking the curb. It can throw the car up, set the back end, and next time you're in the wall. So
yeah, too many times I've gone over that curb. Too many times I've gone over that curb when it's yeah, and then I've lost a wing or part of the wing because of it. So yeah, it's a bit of a scary one, that is. There seems to be at least one corner in every track. I think Codemasters do it on purpose, don't they? Really, but they seem to put a difficult corner at every track, be it like a turn 12 or turn 12 at Australia or Bahrain. Put it that way. Something to throw the car away and ruin your lap. As Maz stays P3, sorry, with a 39.0, so he's improved his time, I believe. Who's the next person to cross the line? It is a Haas, so that's the Gort. I don't think he's on a flying lap, but we'll have a look. No, he's not. So we'll go back to Mike. Sorry, we'll go back to Curly Red. There we go. Got there in the end. So yeah, Curly Red coming through, looking to steal that 5th place in the championship from Ayrton, who's currently in P5 himself, retired in the pits. But we'll see where he goes now in qualifying 3. Stays P7, and he's going to be followed by Mike across the line, who goes P3 as well. So great time there from Mike. Has improved dramatically in the qualifying session, up to a 38.9.
Yeah, but Gort coming the closest, 3/10 off. Energetics invalidated, and Forza Ferrari goes P7. So the only person who can beat it is Newman.
Up to the line he comes, and he's... Oh wait, it's lost. It's gone from me. Oh, he's gone. He's 8th. No, he's not. He's 4th. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I don't know what happened there, but the telemetry just disappeared, and then it showed me he's in P8. So yeah, he jumped up to P4. Has Newman. So yeah, well done to everybody in Q3. So the starting order, sorry, from P1 down to P10 is Energetics in Alfa Romeo, the Gort in the Haas, both McLarens on row 2, Mike and Newman. Maz starting in P5 for Racing Point, Velocity in P6 for Williams, Ayrton in P7 in the Mercedes, Forza Ferrari, in the Ferrari, I should say, P8, Curly Red also supporting his teammate Maz in Racing Point, and then Dead Rabbit in the Alpha Tauri. So just wait for everyone to get going again. Now they've got to, I think they've got a little break now whilst they choose their race strategies, choose their fuel levels and things like that. Of course, the guys starting on the softs will have to pay a bit of attention to what they're doing, and yeah, we'll crack on with the race.
Yeah, going to be an interesting one. See who can make the most positions up on the start. Who can get themselves into the best position going into the rest of the race. Tyre warm-up's a big thing as well, especially if you're outside the top 10. Starting on the harder of the compound tyres and the guys on the soft, so a little bit more working out to do on those tyres, just to make sure they're up to temperature, and the brakes as well. Don't want to have cold brakes going into turn 1.
Definitely not, no. Well, any of these turns really around Baku, it's sharp 90-degree angle pretty much for most of the turns. So yeah, you need to make sure those brakes are definitely warmed up before you get going. I think they're all loaded in. We're just waiting for the lights to come on, and away they go. Sorry for the formation lap. I'll just put the telemetries on. We'll leave it on. We'll put it on the tyres, sorry, for now, as everybody from P11 downwards is starting on the hard compound tyre. which is really interesting to see because they'll be hoping that there's no early safety cars or any early VSCs for the lead guys to make an early pit stop. But everybody from P11 down to P20 on the hard compound tyre, up in the top 10, as we got RDW and Brandon being disqualified there from the formation lap for being naughty. Yeah, in the top 10 we've got Dead Rabbit, Curly Red and Forza starting on the softs, then Ayrton on the medium compound tyres, Velocity on the softs as well, and then the P5 up to P2 all on the mediums, so that's Maz, Newman, Mike and the Gort. And then finally our leader at the moment is Energetics in the Alfa Romeo on the soft compound tyres.
Yeah, watch out for RDW and Brandon to be going down the back of the field. If people outside the top 10 have...
I think I've just lost you. I don't know if he's still here or not, but yeah, we'll carry on. We're just waiting for the guys to obviously finish their formation lap and crack on with their sort of tyre warming up, and their brake pressure warming up and everything like that. He's gone, says Droftas. Yep, it sounds like it. Yeah, we'll just crack on with me then. So unlucky. We'll wait for everyone to get round into Sector 3 now, or coming up to Sector 3 now, sorry. Sector 3 isn't a very long sector because it's basically full throttle, and it's only about, it's just basically a couple of kinks in the straight. As we got him back now, I think he's woken up, or somebody's woken up.
No, my controller died.
Oh, so, his controller died, and now he's back, but that's alright. So they haven't finished formation that yet still, so you're alright. We're just waiting for them to come up to the line.
If people listen to me outside the top 10 on hards and it doesn't work out, then I am hiding off Discord for the rest of the night. Especially from Rempo, she's laid it down early. So I'll be hiding. Okay, but the hards is the right tyre. You've got to look out for RDW and Brandon dropping down the grid though.
Yeah, cold those cold tyres now.
Hard tyres, cold brakes. I mean, if Stereogram, Franz, Far from Ben all get good launches, you'll probably find RDW and Brandon down the bottom of in P19 and P20. Obviously, you're going to get more wheel spin than anybody else. Obviously, not being able to walk with hard tyres, so be interesting to see.
We'll find out in a minute. We're just waiting for the grid to reform. I'll get rid of that spectator menu. Don't need that. And yeah, when they've all lined up, we'll wait for the lights to come on, and we'll be racing.
Going to be an interesting one, definitely to say the least. Obviously, a few different tyre choices in those top 10. Forza Ferrari, Curly Red, Dead Rabbit, all going on to the with Velocity and Energetics, but the light's going to come on.
I'm waiting for those lights, but I can't see them. Oh, there they come. I've got 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, and 5 lights, and waiting for them to go out. And away they go. Off they go now. And Energetics has got a poor start. I think the Gort has overtaken him into turn 1. Oh, a bit of contact there on the Haas. Oh no, he spun around. There's been a few incidents there in the last couple of leagues as well, and it's just not really quieting down in bronze as we've got more contact there of Newman and Forza Ferrari coming together. Safety car has been deployed already on after 2 turns, and RDW has got a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Guna. Yeah, unfortunately for a few of those drivers there, I think everyone was involved in an incident. I'm waiting for. I don't think Farf and Greener are leading the race because, of course, the telemetry in this game is still a mess. They haven't really fixed that yet. So Energetic still leads the race, although we're waiting for the telemetry to sort itself out. But yeah, a bit of a chaotic start there.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of words again. Bit that was a mess to say the least. Obviously, the Gort getting spun round in turn 1, and then from then on it was almost like a chain reaction. I don't know about your telemetry, but mine's now sorted itself out on the left hand side. So get a bit more of a we now know who's the big winners and losers. See, Gort losing a load of places, which isn't good for him after his good qualifying. But Sprite obviously the big winner there on those medium tyres, and so is Maz on the medium tyres as well. Safety car, people might try the hard tyres if they are on the soft compound tyre. It'll be interesting to see if anybody does try that early pit stop. You'll lose track position, but you might be able to find yourself if you can. Ayrton's out.
Oh, what's happened there? Maybe it was he's gone too deep into the into that dreaded turn, hasn't he? Yeah, it looks like it, and he's gone into the wall, which is unfortunate for him there. But I don't know whether like you said, I don't know what happened there. It looked like well, his car looked like he'd gone straight into the wall and lost the tyre. Unfortunate for him, as Energetics has dropped down the order there. It says, but I don't think that's right. Wait, yeah, it's the telemetry going wrong again. So yeah, wait a few guys in the pits now. We're waiting for them to. We'll see what tires they put on. I'm guessing they'll have to make it a two-stop race now from here on out.
Yeah, I was a bit. Velocity got a 5-second time penalty for a serious collision with Ayrton, so I don't know. I don't know if they came to blows or if that's just where Ayrton hit the wall, car didn't go in time, and Velocity just hit the back. A lot of pit stops going on here.
Yeah, I think the whole of the field, down from P6 is pitting now, isn't it? Well, a couple of people have gone through, Brandon and Greener, but everybody else from P9 downwards has pitted. If they're not out, unfortunately for Ayrton, he's the only retirement as it stands at the moment. Has Bradfield gone down the order? No, it's just the telemetry being stupid again. Emerson has said that Ericsson hit him, so he thinks Ericsson hit us. Unfortunately for Ayrton, but he's unfortunately he's out of this race, the Mercedes driver. But he's going to get his head down and carry on, get on with the next race, which will be Canada, of course, in a week's time. Thankfully, I'm not planning on commentating that, so hopefully somebody else will be returning to the comments box, our usual commentator, to make it much more entertaining than this. But we'll wait and see. He's probably got an update for me in the near future coming. But Ayrton said he had wing damage there as well. So it doesn't really help. Especially in the last sector, or last few turns around Baku. Does it having wing damage? Trying to negotiate the this part of the track. And the latter part, when you're going through onto the high speed straight, is quite difficult with no front wing, isn't it?
Yeah, no downforce. You can't get the car to turn in as you like either. So in past sector 2, it's definitely past sector 1 into sector 2. It's a lot more slow speed corners than sector 1 and 3. So you are dying to have that front wing left intact, and if you don't, one little slip on the brake, and unfortunately for Ayrton, it showed it there. The race is gone in the blink of an eye. So unfortunately, he's out, but I'm sure he'll come back strong next week and hopefully get some points there.
Yeah, so unfortunate for him, but I think we've seen quite a few people in the last couple of days. Especially when there's been wing damage involved, going into sector 3 is a nightmare, and you need to make sure that you're aware of drivers who have got damage or who look like they're going slowly, will most likely be carrying wing damage, and going through that sector is going to be absolutely very difficult to get out of your way as well. So unfortunate for Ayrton, but he'll crack on, like you said, on to the next race, which is waiting for the safety car to come in. What do you think about Energetics and Curly Red? Dead Rabbit's come back into the pits, it looks like, and I'll just check on the stops. He has, and put the soft compound tyres on. So Energetics and Curly Red staying out on the soft compound tyre.
Obviously, the tyres will last a little bit longer, but they're still having to keep them warm, so they're still having to weave across the track, so they won't last as long as probably what they think. Me personally, if I was on the soft tyre, I would risk it probably on the hards to try and go to the end. I think Sproat and Maz are in the best position, probably with Newman as well. But you can't rule out the 3 hard compound tyre runners, Bradfield, Brandon and Ben. They're definitely in the mix. And then you've got Forza Ferrari and Red Bull on the mediums, but obviously they'll have to stop again. They won't last 23 laps. They can give it their best shot, but if you're following someone as well, the tyre life will go down as well.
What I was about to say on that was with the soft compound tyres runners, so the 2 of them, of course Dead Rabbit is included, but he has already pitted and put on a new set. But with Energetics and Curly Red, this safety car will be extending their tyre life as well, so potentially they could extend their soft stint and then go to the hard compound tyres for the next stint and make it a one-stop, as the safety car is coming in this lap.
They could, but Energetics will need to put a lot of good lap times in to make sure he's clear of Sprout, who's on those medium tyres. If they might be able to get to the hard compound tyre window, but it will be a push. They will be hurting right now. I think they'll be on about what? After the quali lap, they're on about 7-8% already.
Yeah.
Plus, then you've got the formation lap warm up. They'll probably be on about 12 to 13.
He's not doing a good job with this restart. Sorry, I'm just learning he's about to catch the safety car here. It's going to cause a pile up his Energetics, and yeah, that was unfortunate there. As Dead Rabbit is going for a move, I think. As we'll go back to the lead. As we're going back to Forza, who's got past Ben into P8, and Fran against RD up into P13 from RD Wee. Sorry, Rembo's kind of past Greenery as well. I think Greenery is.
I think Ben's lagged out.
He's not in the session, yeah. So not allowed to rejoin if you have lagged out, unfortunately, because it does cause issues if you rejoin. Sometimes the Gort back up to 15th and Favre passing Guna for P17.
Yeah, that was not a good restart from Energetics at all. Everybody's eager to get the power down on the restart, especially when you're leading it as well. But that nearly came at a big consequence of Mike taking a lead from Energetics. It's not what he wanted. He needs to put the hammer down now to make that a soft to hard strategy work. Just don't think he's going to be able to do it. I think the softs will wear out by lap 10. I don't think he's going to be able to get him past them. If he does, it'll be a miracle. He can't lock up, can't have any mistakes. So it'd be interesting to see if Sprout and Maz can keep up. Obviously Curly Red on those soft compound tyres as well, so he'll be looking a bit racy for a few more laps over the back of Maz. But they need to get rid of the cars behind on those harder compounds of tyres as well.
Do you reckon that Maz should let Curly Red through here and just make the, well, because he's obviously on the faster compound tyres, get the racing point further up the order and battling for that lead? As we've got Newman, on the back of Curly Red. Now it's too late for that, as Newman is past Curly Red. Curly Red's used up all of his energy on this lap, so he's going to have to recharge and restore some energy there. As Velocity makes a move on Dead Rabbit, looking to line up Rembo as well into turn 1. Is he going to make it? No, not quite. Dead Rabbit slowing down into turn 1 and making that move stick, as RDW is in the pits, Stereogram in the pits, and Guna in the pits as well.
Yeah, obviously not another bad start to the race again with the restart. Velocity looking very, very racy, going up the inside of Rembo now into turn 3, trying to make it stick, gonna have to force Rembo wide a little bit, but gets through cleanly as well. So now he's definitely on a mission, is Velocity, after the first lap. A
little bit of contact there, but it's good. I think it's good. Sorry to interrupt you there, but yeah, a little bit of contact there, but all's well in racing, a bit of rubbins racing, isn't it? So yeah, as the Americans would say.
Definitely, but Velocity knows Energetics is leading the race, and he needs to get as many points as he can to minimise the damage that has been caused. Forza gets out of shape through the castle section, right on board with Velocity at the moment. Forza all out of shape here, but still has his wing intact, so Velocity can smell the blood coming from that Ferrari and needs to get him shifted. There's a bit of contact. I don't know who's lost a bit of front wing up in front. I don't know.
Curly Red, it looks like.
Could be Curly Red.
Yeah, but he's lost a left end plate. He's going to be swamped here by everybody. So this is what I'm talking about. It's going to be so dangerous right here because Curly Red's not letting out, and he's got all these drivers trying to overtake him. He's going to go into the wall, and he's still going, but. Yeah, I mean, that was a bit lucky as Energetic sets the fastest lap of the race. We've got yellow flag in sector 3, I think that's for Curly. Velocity has passed Forza Ferrari up into P7 is the Williams driver.
Yeah, Velocity definitely putting the hammer down now, trying to get through as many people as he can. Curly Red with a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane as well, so that's not helping his race at all. Brandon next up for Velocity, but obviously he's getting his DRS, so he's getting pulled through by Bradfield. This is the DRS train that you were on about earlier, Nosey.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at the wrong battle there, but I'm back on it now. Yeah, but obviously in Sector 2, where it's so twisty, and obviously there's a lot of turns coming up without much room to overtake, it is very difficult to follow another car around here. And I think that Ferrari of Brandon has got wing damage. It has on the right end plate. There is no right end plate there, which is there might not be any. There's no left end plate. Yeah, there's no left end plate now as well as we've got Williams going side by side into Castle section. What is that? That's terrible racing. That is
awful.
Yeah, the virtual safety car is deployed. Virtual safety car is out, and yeah, as Fran's got a severe collision with Farf there somehow. But I'm sure we'll have a look at that later on in the race, or after us in the incident. Sorry, VSC is out. But yeah, the battle in there was a bit poor from Velocity and Brandon there. I think the Williams and the Ferrari going side by side in the Castle section is never going to end well, and yeah, and that's what happens really.
I personally think Velocity would have had the better exit out of turn 6. I think personally Brandon should have backed out, knowing full well he's got wing damage on both sides, and he wouldn't have been able to keep anybody back behind either.
Velocity has Velocity did get through there and has no wing damage, it looks like, so he should be able to carry on with his race as he's got past Forza again. Brandon dropping down into the pits as we saw there. The Gort is up into P9 and making a recovery drive on those hard compound tyres as it stands. But yeah, like you said, this battle is really heating up in the midfield.
Yeah, the DRS train's going to be quite insane. You've got Forza and DRS, Remco, Dev Rabbit, Gort, Franz, all in that DRS range. So it's going to get interesting. Obviously, the gaps at the front, they're opening up now. So it's definitely the battle in the midfield. It's a bit more interesting than the guys at the front.
Oh, we've got dive here from Fran. Oh, dive there from Fran on the Gort into turn 4. The Gort not happy about that, weaving around after that move. I think he's all right. Not got any damage there. Fran up into P9. The Gort doesn't look like he's got any damage there, so hopefully he can carry on without any extra pit stops required. I'll just have a quick look here, but yeah, he seems all right there from my point of view, but I'm not sure what he's seeing. Brandon is past. Oh, he's just passed Ben Greener, who's of course not in the session anymore, unfortunately for Ben. So 2 retirements as it stands out of the first 7 laps. The Gort got 3-second time penalty. I think that's the first 3-second time penalty we've seen.
I've got to say, it's hard to get penalties around here, but turn 6, you can take a little bit more off that corner than what people would normally think. But obviously, if you do take the mick a little bit too much, you get punished, as you should as well. You're gaining an advantage by cutting a corner. If someone can overtake you, then you should get a penalty for it and a warning.
I think it took... Sorry, I was going to say, I think it took some people quite a long time to get used to the new game, like in terms of the track restrictions, the track limits, and the penalties. But yeah, like you said, I think it is well deserved, and everyone's got used to it now, and I think it's helped promote some good racing.
Definitely, Dead Rabbit.
Oh, Dead Rabbit in the wall issues there. I think he's ghosted as well, has he? Or maybe I'm wrong there.
No,
he's definitely got.
I think that's where he clipped the wall, and then he ghosted just in case. But he's definitely got damage here. I saw Franz hopping up past Dead Rabbit there. I don't know if it was contact, but yeah, there could have been a little bit of contact as Dead Rabbit then has to go into the runoff area. But like a downforce hurting him now.
And Maz's pit, sorry, I didn't see that at all, but Maz, of course, who started on the... has he started on the medium compound tire, didn't he?
He started on mediums, he's gone early.
So maybe he's looking to make an undercut work against his competitors. I think he's mainly fighting the McLarens up in P2 and P3 as it stands at the moment for them. But yeah, hopefully we'll see, as he's not too far behind them as it stands time-wise. So yeah, a pit stop around here, sort of 22, 23 seconds or so. It's just the pit entry that's a bit of a difficult one. But yeah, on back to Newman. I think Newman and Mike have switched places, doing a bit of team play here. Of course, Mike will get the DRS now, but yeah, I think the McLarens, they're a good team and they're working together. As we've got side by side there, I think we've got Guna getting past his teammate, who's of Ben Greener, who's unfortunately not in the session anymore. But yeah, we're going to see if anybody else on the mediums will pit again, pit earlier, as Energetics is out to pit now.
Yeah, that's about that. He's playing to the soft strategy. Bang on lap 9. You would box for soft to hard. But
yeah, he'll make it to the end there from there, won't he?
Yeah, so he'll try it. He might get a little bit toasty towards the back end with those hard tyres, depending on how many people he's following. That's the big one. Here we go. This is Velocity he loses all places, but he's got the court. He's got Velocity's, Rembo's teammate in front of him. Nunda couldn't quite get him, but what Velocity now needs is Nunda to get past and hold up Energetics. With the lock up from Energetics won't help those hard tyres early on. Velocity will be praying Nunda can get through now and hold up Energetics up for a couple of laps, and then Velocity can bang on with those mediums and probably go mediums again. I think Velocity will go mediums again, or try and stretch them out to lap 20 and have 6 laps on the softs, see what he can do.
I just saw Dead Rabbit in the pits there as well. Of course, he made an early pit stop under the safety car, but he put the soft compound tyres on again. So he's gone. He's pitted again. Sorry, second time this race for the hard. Same strategy now. Oh, he's gone into the wall there. Sorry, he's retired. Sorry, that was a bit of a commentator's curse. I'll hold my hands up on that one. But I was going to say he's on the same strategy now as Energetics, but he's definitely not. He's unfortunately out of this race. I don't know whether we're going to get a safety car for that or not. We'll find out in a minute when it shows up, or if it does show up. As RDW has gone through, it shouldn't really be. I know it's unrealistic, but the game can probably clear that quite quickly, and without having to put a safety car or a VSC up, it should just disappear in a minute.
Hang on, Forza Ferrari spun.
Forza has spun in the in the twisty bit of the final couple of corners. Definitely got wing damage there, hasn't he? So he'll have to be into the pit. Fran is up into P5. Sorry, as he swooped past Rembo there into turn 1. Mercedes doing really well. One Mercedes doing really well in this race, and he's up into P5 is Fran.
Definitely, but we all know what Rembo's like with her ERF. She's really good at saving it, so that might come into effect later on in this Grand Prix if she can still save some.
Definitely, as Brandon's gone really wide, into turn 1 behind Favre. He's trying to chase him down, both on the same level, same usage of tyre. Sorry, I should say, might get my words out. Both on the medium compound tyres. Brandon in the DRS zone, and he's going to be trying to push Favre as quickly as he can to try and get in the top 10. There's a couple of people further up have yet to pit, of course.
Yeah, it's definitely looking well. So you've got Newman, Mike and Bradfield, who haven't stopped yet. Obviously playing it to about lap 12, and then they'll go on to those hard tyres and maybe stretch it depending on how easy they are on their tyres. If they haven't had to use them so much, they might be able to stretch it.
Yeah, what's really interesting here actually is, like you said, going back to the stop, Velocity has made a pit stop, of course, and he's probably going to be pitting on to the medium compound tyres again, like you said. Fran has also made a pit stop, so he's looking pretty good actually at this stage as well, as it stands, because he's all over the back of Bradfield now, going up to the DRS straight. I think he's fallen a bit further behind now. He's got DRS active, but I think the AlphaTauri driver is using all of his energy to try and defend side by side into turn 1. Fran's going to sweep around the outside. He's done it. Energetics is catching up with him, and he's set the fastest lap of the race as it stands.
Energetics still putting a hammer down on those hard tyres as well, which is... he's gone deep. He's gone a little bit deep, but saves it well. Shows the pace that Energetics really does have. Setting the fast lap on those hard tyres. Looking really good. See if he can make those positions up. Obviously, got the Gort in front, who's then you've got Rembo, so he's got 2 hasses to clear.
I think the problem he's got now actually is he's got a queue coming up now, hasn't he? He's got both the hasses of Rembo and the Gort, who are not going to be easy targets to overtake. And then he's got, of course, Bradfield, who's going long on those hard compound tyres. And he's getting away. Is Fran is up in P4, but the charging Fran, who's definitely not going to be easy overtake in this race. It doesn't look like.
Definitely not. And another problem Energetics have is there's a mini DRS train really. So we won't have, unless he's running less downforce than the 2 Hasses and the AlphaTauri, he won't be able to get past as easy as he would probably like to get back up into the P1.
That's true, yeah. So it's a bit of a difficult situation for Energetics, of course, having made that early pit stop for the hard compound tyres. Well, he had to make that pit stop really, didn't he? Because obviously those soft compound tyres weren't going to last much longer, you'd imagine anyway. So he's having to come up to the back of this queue now in DRS range, and yeah, like you said, it's a bit of a DRS train. They're all stuck against each other, and it'll be a bit of a to and fro. Yeah, made the move stick. Yeah, I think that's a good move from Rembo. It should be all right. Let's see if the Gore can come through as well. No, he can't. So into turn 1 they go. Rembo making the move, but of course that might just mean that Bradfield comes back in the second DRS straight. As he's gone wide, he's just about stopped him going in the wall. The Gore has been caught up in that as well. It looks like just about, but I think he's all safe. Energetics is going free wide down the second straight, and he's made the move. He's made a double move there. Brilliant move there from Energetics. Like we said, commentators always get it wrong, and we said he was going to get held up quite a bit behind the Haas and Bradfield. And he's just got two of them in one straight. So, yeah, pretty good from Energetics. He's just showing his pace, really, isn't he, in that Alfa Romeo?
Definitely looks really, really pacey today. Must love a street track. But, yeah, great move. Obviously, a little bit twitchy when you go 3 wide round here. And you're praying that you get the move done before the braking zone, and he did. Obviously, the exit that Bradfield had out of turn 2 didn't help the Gort following behind as Bradford got a little bit squirrely on the exit, which then meant Gort had to ease off on the power, and then Energetics just blazing through, and now he's got Rembo in front as the Gort goes into the wall. I just caught that on the camera. He has end plate damage, so that's him. That's his race. Nearly gone. He's now going to hold up Bradfield. Nunda on the back of Bradfield now. So this is where it gets a little bit nerve-wracking for Bradfield now. He doesn't know what the Gort's going to be able to do through here with how much pace he has, but he's going to go to the inside. His Gort's going to stick to the left and probably box this lap.
Yeah, that's right. Very good racing there from both of them. Energetics has been, is up into P5 or up into P4 now as he's passed Rembo. They can get after Fran and Mike, from P2 as it stood, is now in the pits, and he's making his first and only pit stop, hopefully for him, for the hard compound tyres.
Velocity looking good. Obviously, the only problem with having with your teammate up at the front is someone's got to go long and someone's got to go, and someone's going to be going bang on. So the guy who's going to have to go long will have to a bit more tyre preservation through the earlier stage of the stint and towards the back end. When you know you're going to be boxing in about 5 laps, then you can put the throttle down. I think that's what Newman's doing here, is he took that castle section really quickly, really looked good through there. So I think Newman will be boxing this lap. Can extend it if he wants to, because Velocity is not closing as much as I would have thought, and they've actually extended the gap to him. So the McLaren's looking really, really solid during this race so far.
Yeah, definitely putting in a good shift, I think, both McLarens in that case. But we'll wait and see when Newman pits, because his teammate pit obviously on the last lap. Will he pit on this lap as well? We'll find out in the next few seconds. Sorry, as I swallowed my tongue. We're just waiting for the driver to pick his line into the pits. He comes.
Stereogram's retired from the session pits.
Oh, okay. He's in the pits. That's fine. Newman is in the pits, of course, not for retiring, but for a new set of tyres, as Velocity still carries on those 11-lap old medium combat tyres. Energetics now will be up into P2, the first man to have made made all of his pit stops that are required of him. As Stereogram's actually, I just saw Stereogram there. He's gone now, yeah. Oh, side by side is Nunda and Newman out of the pits, and Newman makes it stick. He's got the move done. I don't know if Nunda's got DRS, but he's not activated it if he does. Meanwhile, we've got Farf jumping up to P8, Mike in P7 now on those hard combat tyres as well. So I don't know whether, just looking here at Maz, he's on his own at the moment for a bit on those hard combat tyres. He's done 6 laps on them. He's going to go to the end on those, do you reckon?
Yeah, he'll be able to go to the end. It's going to be hard for him. It might be. But this clear air will help him a lot. His tyres won't be able to overheat from the car in front. He won't be under any pressure from behind, so he doesn't have to use his tyres as much as, say, Energetics, who's looking to close Velocity, but has Newman 2.5 seconds behind. The same goes
yellow
for
flag, sorry. Oh, yes, it's Guno who's retired in the pits. I think it is. Yes, it is. He's in the pits for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but He's still going, or his car's still moving out of the pits now, but unfortunately he's no longer in the session. The gaps, I was just about to say before that happened, is the gaps have sort of, apart from sort of where I'm looking right now, P10 down to sort of P12 rather, the gaps have all extended, so everyone's out of DRS range, which is usually good for the admins because it means that there's less incidents that can hopefully occur. But of course that never seems to work. Always something that will happen in a league race, especially around Baku. But yeah, the gap's extending around here as Fran's gone very wide into the final turn as he's got side by side with the Gort into the. Oh, I'm not liking this. The Gort's made it stick, but of course he's going to have Fran's going to have the DRS now. He's going to be in the DRS range. I don't know if Fran's got damage because he's going very slowly through there. He's got Brandon all over the back of him now as well.
Yeah. Fran making a very uncharacteristic mistake tonight. We're coming back at him, looking at a lunge into turn one. Takes the inside line. Gort's going to have to.
Oh no!
Gort's been hit.
Brandon's pushed him round there. I just saw that on my end as well. He's been pushed round by Brandon there in the Ferrari, spinning the car back round as the Gort. Going to be very upset with that. Unfortunately, he's got another pit stop required. He's only just pit for the medium compound tyres. And he's lost all of his front wing on the right hand side.
Sorry, Nosy. Rembo going up the inside of Brandon for P10 for that last points playing position. So
back
Brandon
in the points is the hash.
spinning Brandon's spinning Rembo's teammate round, makes up for it, and steals that last point off him. Now Rembo needs to make sure that on those fresh compound mediums, needs to put the pressure on Franz quickly.
Definitely, yeah. But obviously, so that's right. The warm up on those hard compound tyres isn't going to be very quick, is it? So you'd expect them actually by now 2 laps or so to have warmed up properly. But you never know. I mean, it's Codemasters at the end of the day, and they can do some weird, funny things. So yeah, Brandon he might be able to make those tyres last to the end of the race. He's gone very deep into that corner and almost hit the wall again. But yeah, he's really pushing to try and keep in that DRS range, but he's dropping out of it very gradually. But yeah, those medium compound tyres for Rembo very easy to warm up, very easy to get going, and she'll be after Fran very quickly. Bradfield, like you said, in the pits for his first pit stop. As we got another retirement, it's the Gort. It's in the fast sector as well. Of course, with that wing damage, I don't think he's in the downhill left-hander. He's gone into the wall too fast, and yeah, you need to factor in the wing damage, especially when you're going around there. And I've done that many a time, but yeah, unfortunately for the Gort, he's out of this race, and we'll wait and see if that is going to warrant a safety car or not. With the code, I was going to say, sorry, yeah, back up to Farf. Like you said, but with velocity being about 10 seconds back from P2, and we've got more shenanigans going on with the Haas and the Ferrari here.
I don't want to watch that. That could end in tears.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to end badly, and Brandon is now dropped down to P12. I think Rembo's got front wing damage there, and she's probably not in the happiest of moods. But Brandon is attacking her again.
Bumping her through.
Energetics in the pits. Energetics is making a pit stop, which is quite odd because he's only done 10 laps on those hard compound tyres.
I'm going to say that could be taking that fastest lap. No, he's put on the mediums.
That's very odd from the Alfa Romeo driver.
There's a lot of strange calls because there was no front wing change there either.
As is Mike. Mike's in the pits as well, and he's only done 6 laps on those hard compound tyres.
I don't get. Right, he's putting on new wing for Mike, Mike.
Right, okay, yeah, new wing for the McLaren driver there as Favre comes through. But yeah, unfortunately for Mike, he must have had a bit of a coming together with a wall somewhere around here. But he's going to be back out in P10, so they're still in the points. I think Rembo and Brandon are still carrying on their fight. Rembo's got wing damage. I think Rembo's got wing damage for sure. Only minimal, but on the right hand side. I don't know what Brandon's got, but he's definitely got an urge to try and get that P11 spot. And
Brandon's got nothing, but he could be in trouble, obviously, with the stewards after what happened to the Gort.
Yeah, I think there'll be a few incidents to report.
Letting him go. I think Rembo's better off letting him go. And
essentially.
Oh no.
Sorry, we've got Nunda here. Sorry, with all over the back of Fran on these on the fresher medium compound tyres compared to the Fran's hards. But yeah, Fran doing a good job as well. So like I said, they also had a quali ban, and is now up in P5, up into P5, of course. With the Williams all over the back of him. But yeah, potentially some good points for Mercedes here. Although unfortunately for Ayrton, he's not one of them who's scoring for Mercedes. But yeah, Fran from P18, I think it was, up into P5 could be a candidate for driver of the day.
Definitely. I definitely think Williams for the constructors are definitely having a great day with the points. Newman, I mean, you can't look away from him for driver of the day, but I definitely think Fran. It'd be close between those two, but Fran obviously starting at the back of the grid, coming through, raced really well, defended well, attacked brilliantly, raced a really, really good race today. Looking solid. So it'd be interesting to see what Fran can do to keep Nunda behind on those medium tyres.
Sorry, Curly Red just gone wide out of the downhill left-hander. I think it was on his own doing, but he's all over the track here. And like I said, he was just caught up to that battle between Brandon and Rempo. So it might be a three-way battle. Sorry, in the very near future. Sorry. But yeah, like you said, shouldn't be watching that because it might end in a disaster. So yeah, back to Nunda and Fran.
It's definitely a lot easier. Just won't make me cry as much later, to be fair. It's always painful when you see drivers having incidents, especially when a track like this, the slightest incident can cause a retirement. So it's better to not just look away. Just act like it isn't happening.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
The one battle that is happening is Nunda and Fran, and Nunda is the closest he's been to the back of that Mercedes all race. So this could happen. Needs a tidy end of the lap, a little bit of a lock up, but is just a little bit, but gets on the power quite nicely. Obviously, can get a little bit more traction out of the corners than Fran on with those medium tyres that Nunda has. This could be his opportunity down the straight.
And I've got just noticed there. Sorry, far closing in the background. Just coming down that left-hander. I was looking at turn 14. I could see him coming down the hill in the background, and he's going to be joining this battle very soon as well.
Definitely, I think we all know what it is. Farf is coming like a shark with knees.
Oh, he's definitely got knees. Yeah. Sorry, Mike's got past Forza there down the main straight again with DRS assistance. So Mike getting after that extra pit stop for the wing change, coming in the pits as Curly Red's got past Brandon.
Sorry. Yeah, Brandon's had issues, but now Curly Red all over the back of Rembo, and again Rembo just better off.
Yeah, there's no ways you can fight this really.
You're better off not fighting it, and just to settle for, it hasn't been our race today.
Oh, I think she was following your strategy as well, so it's your strategy.
I made it.
So unfortunately for you,
it's fine.
All right, okay.
I made it work. I'm covered.
Yep, there we go.
Not my problem.
Yep.
I suggested.
Yes. Anyway.
But hang on. In the meantime, we'll skip my blemishes. Energetics on those fresh mediums over the back of Maz for that last place on the podium.
Yeah, all over. Well, I think
dead and buried, to be fair.
I don't know what happened to Energetics. Well, why he picked, because he didn't have a wing change, and he's also put the medium compound tyres on. But he was running in P2, so he's going to lose out on a position, and whether he gets fastest lap or not, potentially a point as well.
Yeah, and the strange one is how he was closing.
What's going on here? Sorry.
To Newman.
Brandon's got a 3-second time penalty again, all over the back of Rembo. Sorry, I'm just going to go back to this battle, and I don't want to.
Farf is coming. Farf has just gotten past Nunda, and now is closing in on Franz. Farf is a man on an absolute mission today. I wanted to give him a bit of ribbon, but he's given me nothing to give him, and it's frustrating.
He's certainly doing a good job as it stands. He's going to be overtaking Fran, it looks like, down this straight. Rembo and Brandon resuming their battle. Oh, Brandon not resuming his battle, sorry. Brandon is in the wall. It's a very odd place to put it in the wall as well, really.
That is, I think he's dropped it out of the start of Sector 3, probably out of
yeah, it looks like it.
14.
Sorry, Farf is through.
15.
And so is Nunda. Linda
Yes.
is on the outside. Sorry, it looks like being pushed wide a bit there by Fran.
Oh,
A bit
no,
of contact.
no, no. Oh, no.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see. But unfortunately, it's too late now, and Fran has lost that position because Linda decided to put his nose in where it shouldn't be really. But yeah, unfortunately for Fran, but he's only dropped one place down, so he's still in P7, getting some good points for Team Mercedes. Energetics, like I said, all over the back of Maz. Will he make a move in the DRS straight, or DRS train rather, DRS straight I should say. There we go. On this occasion,
I think it could be pretty dead and buried here. I said this last lap and it didn't work. Maybe I'm gonna get I should be proved wrong here. Energetics tighten up, but just gives him a little bit of a squeeze going past there. Just making sure he knows he's there. Just showing a wheel, as Sean would say.
Well, it's still side by side into turn 2.
But Maz gets him back, and Energetics has to pull out. You have to pull out to move.
Yeah, it's going to be it's going to be a running battle for the next 3 laps. We've only got 3 laps left. I've lost count of all the laps that we were looking at. As Mike, has passed Bradfield down the main straight as well. So Mike up into P8 now on these off-compound tyres from McLaren. So clawing some points back from McLaren. Well, McLaren obviously standing in P2, P1.
Maz is back past Energetics.
Yeah, it just keeps switching and backwards and forwards, doesn't it? Into Sector 2 it shouldn't switch too much, hopefully. Hopefully not going for any silly moves. But yeah, so I was going to say back to Mike, gaining that extra place as well. Getting some more points from McLaren, of course. Newman doing a great job in P1, under pressure now. It looks like, seemed to be under pressure from Velocity. If he's got an extra few laps, I think Velocity might have won this. But yeah, I think he might run out just at the end. But yeah, Mike, after making that extra pit stop because he had front wing damage, is really getting a move on now and getting some extra points for the McLaren team.
Definitely moving his way up the order. Fran up next. He might be able to get him with 2 laps left. So hopefully, and one more battle, we can have Bradfield obviously not letting Mike go without a fight. And other than that, I think we have a chance to catch our breath, mate, finally. It's been a wild 25 laps, hasn't even just started the 25th lap of this race now. But yeah. Energetics to Maz, we're going again. As I say, we can catch our breath. We're going once more. This looks a lot. He's done it a lot earlier, so I think
definitely
that is move done. And Energetics finds himself. No, Energetics is deep. So Maz can come back if he wants to, but he's just going to wait for the DRS to use the overtake and the slipstream. Energetics must be struggling with maybe a little bit of wing damage that we can't see. But here comes Maz again. Energetics just having a bit of a shove again, squeezing him a little bit. But will Maz go deep on the brakes? He won't. He was going to settle, but Energetics got.
That was close.
Energetics must have a bit. Yeah, it was squeaky bum time.
Definitely, yeah. I think it doesn't look like it.
Damage.
I just saw it there going when they went through that turn. It didn't look like there was any damage on the Alfa Romeo, but maybe there is.
But it could be something that we can't see. It might only be slight, but something that we can't see.
Forza Ferrari's in the pits. I think he's got time to come in and come back out on the soft compound tyres and maybe go for a fastest lap. As RDW has lost it in the. He's just spinning around there. I thought it was Ben Greener, I think it was. But he's lost it in the kinky section of the final sector, and is now going to have to come back round and get into the pits. Well, I suppose he could carry on and finish the race if he wants to. As it stands, unfortunately, he's going to be out of the points at this rate anyway, and so it's going to be. You need to slow down before you do that, and he's just gone and thrown it into the pit lane entry and binned it. But anyway, Mike all over the back now of Fran, looking for P7.
Interesting last few laps now. With obviously Mike on the back of Franz, but we know how well Franz can defend. So the other one to look out for is Maz now on the back of Energetics, going down in the inside, going into turn 1. Can he make it stick? Just hangs Energetics out there, but he's not having it. Energetics is not having any of that.
And I think Energetics. Maz got the DRS. No, I don't know who got DRS there.
No,
but it's not showing me now.
Nobody. Nobody apparently.
Nobody got DRS there. Yeah. So as Mike and Fran side by side, Mike swooped around the outside as Fran has been doing quite frequently in this race. Energetics back up to P3 as well, overtaking Maz down the second DRS straight. But yeah, Mike doing a good job of getting the recovery drive on, having made making a two-stopper really, even though he did have the one-stopper in mind. But yeah, Fran all over the back of him. Oh no, they spun both. He spun both of them round, and Mike's got front wing damage now, and that's why you need to reset the track because it was safe to do so. And they'll be ghosting. But anyway, Bradfield up in P7 now. Congratulations to Bradfield. Very well deserved, and yeah, very good talent.
Definitely, but Newman on the way down to the start-finish straight, he's driven an absolutely amazing race today. You can't take this win away from him. It's been absolutely amazing from start to finish. Did everything he had to do right today, and fully deserves this win at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Goes to Newman in the McLaren, he then decides to bin it after the finish line. We've got Velocity coming home in P2. Great recovery from him, and Maz just fell off right where I thought we would have a little drag race towards the line then, Ozzy.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah, I mean, it's been a great race, I think, overall. I know there was a few incidents here and there, but I mean, you'd expect that in Baku anyway, wouldn't you, really? As everyone seems to be weaving around and then binning it after the finish line. Yeah, a really good job from everybody who's finished this race. They've done a great job. Newman, Velocity, Energetics, Maz, Favre. Oh, we've got more contact there as Nunda's gone into the back of his teammate, I think. Bradfield in P7, Mike in P8, Fran in P9, and we're just waiting for Forza Ferrari. I think Forza might be going for a fastest lap attempt here as well, because he did pit late for those soft compound tyres, and we'll be looking to try and get that extra boost. Overtake is on, and I don't think he gets it, but he's in P10 anyway. So yeah, P10 for Forza Ferrari. Really good racing from him. Again, getting some points for Ferrari as well, which is good. Curly Red coming up to the line, and he is P11. We're just waiting for the next two to come along. Rembo, unfortunately, she's actually last on track, but she's put in a really good performance, and I was very unlucky in that race. Darren's just said GG Newman, really good racing from Newman, and GG Bronze as well. I think Bronze, yeah, fantastic racing. As F1 Farf, who looks a bit strange in that picture compared to his real profile picture, has got driver of the day. So congratulations to F1 Farf.
Yeah, raced really well today. Deserved to start in P19. Made some great overtakes, made the right strategy call at the right time. I was coming into those softs. So a lot of pit stops tonight, so those pit crews definitely earned their money today. But congratulations to Newman, a great race for him today. Made the one-stop work, so they thoroughly deserved.
Yeah, well deserved from Newman. I think well raced from Energetics, from Velocity first in P2, and then Energetics. And of course Maz, who getting his first points of the season in P4. Really good race from him. P5 for Farf. Nundo in P6, Bradfield in P7, Mike in P8, Fran in the Mercedes in P9, and Forza Ferrari in the Ferrari in P10. Just outside the points was Curly Red and Rentbo. Ben Greener unfortunately disconnected, so he could not rejoin the race. So everybody from Ben Greener below is out. So Ardy Wee, Brandon, The Gort, Guna, Stereogram, Dead Rabbit, and Ayrton unfortunately all DNF'd. And thank you very much for joining us at this Azerbaijan Grand Prix. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you in a week's time in the lovely city of Montreal in Canada.
Just waiting for the podium sitters now, aren't we?
Yeah, we're just waiting for the guys to come in, the top three to come in for a little interview. And I think, yeah, if you want to take it away, Dan, when they get in it, and we'll crack on.
I think we are. Newman, you've got a copy there, mate?
Yep.
Great race today, mate. Faultless drive. Talk us through it, mate. How did you manage to get the one stop to work? And how was your pace towards the back end?
Yeah, no, everything seemed to go perfect, to be fair. Like I said, it was just, I think the softs wasn't the best idea. I think that sort of gave me, if it was on the same strategy, I reckon it would have been a breeze for him, to be fair. The soft sort of ruined him, but other than that, no, it was good. It was a good, clean race. Didn't really do. I think the only overtake was on Velocity, I think. Or Energetics, sorry, Energetics.
Yeah, quiet race is never a bad race, though, mate.
No,
You
exactly.
thoroughly deserved it today. So, congratulations on your win. And how are you feeling for Canada?
Yeah, feeling good, feeling good. Just got a good teammate with me, so I have to thank him for that today. He let me through, so I could start chasing him down.
Oh, that's good. Well, congratulations, mate, and good luck for next week.
Thank you, mate.
Velocity, mate.
Hi.
Talk us through it, strategy-wise. Interesting one, that, mate.
It went wrong from qualifying, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it was, so I fucked up in qualifying massively. I was whining like a bitch.
Come on.
So race happened, obviously contact at the start, had to pit onto the mediums. Took the mediums 14, 15 laps, I think. And just had to dive my way past a load of drivers after the safety car restart. That was terrifying, I'm not gonna lie, but managed to get myself through. Got onto the softs, which were actually pretty rapid at the start, but surprised that Hilker ended up pitting and giving me pretty much the P2, but honestly I reckon these two on the podium were so much quicker than me this weekend.
Yeah, obviously things didn't go your way today, but they happened. But it was a good recovery drive to get to P2. Thought you were going to be closer to Newman at the back end of the Grand Prix with the soft tyres on. But same questions to you. How are you feeling with Canada next week?
A lot better than here. Obviously this is a stint of bad tracks for me, so I think I want to just get to Silverstone really. Silverstone, Austria, that's where I want to be.
Nice, well, good luck to you next week and well done today, mate.
Cheers.
Energetics, you there, mate?
I'm here, yes.
Good race today, bud. How come you boxed towards the back end for mediums? That was caught me and nosy by surprise there.
Yeah, I did the soft hard strategy before, but I did it otherwise, so I wasn't counting on that much tire wear in the race, so I thought, let's try it. I could have made it, because the tire weren't an issue, but I was struggling on the hards. The car were lighter and the car were like really unsettled and stuff. So when Newman overtook me, I lost 2 seconds in the matter of 2 laps. So I thought, let's go back to my original plan, and that's scoring decent points every race, and not thinking about winning every race. Just like, if you score decent points, you can win the championship as well. Just like Velocity is doing right now, because he's still leading, but not winning. He should win once. So yeah, thought let's just go to the softs, but I had a used set of softs and I didn't know how used it was, so I took the better of it and did go to the mediums, so to be sure.
No, fair play, they made it work, getting what looked like an easy P3. Your qualifying pace was scary to say the least, with how far in front you were of everybody. Just as I asked Velocity and Newman, how are you feeling for Canada next week?
Normally I'm feeling good. It's one of my favorites. It used to be one of my favorites, but I don't get a right setup for it every time I race there. So I think it's just damage limitation. And in the quali, I am really quick at quali pace, because some tracks I know the track limits and how to use it. And yeah, sometimes it pays out to pole position, but it also the points will be given in the race, not in quali. So that's why I'm trying to be consistent in the points. So next week I hope to be top 5 again.
For sure. Well, it was a good drive from you today to get P3. Great qualifying result as well. And good luck today. And hand you back to Nosy.
I just want to say thank you very much for everybody who participated in the race. It was a great race. It's the final race from all 3 leagues at Baku. So yeah, we'll be on to Canada starting on Sunday for gold next week. So we'll see you there. Thanks very much.